Long practicing nutritionist and healthy living advocate maintained her call for families to go fully organic in food consumption and avoid food products with a questionable production history. She also appealed to mothers to make smarter nutritional choices for themselves as well as for their children by prioritizing food that are rich in vitamins, calories, protein and minerals, with available data revealing that adolescent girls are particularly vulnerable to malnutrition. The governor's wife explained that protein, iron and other micronutrients are very essential to support the adolescent growth and meet the body's increased demand for iron during menstruation. She said that her nutrition and healthy living campaigns have been appreciable result in changing living and health habits among women. Ad hoc workers of Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) Anambra State have staged a peaceful protest over non-payment of stipends after the just concluded general elections. The ad hoc workers, who include coalition officers, supervising presiding officers, SPOs, among others, staged the protest in the state headquarters of INEC in Awka. Queen Aniwago filed the report.
The group, who were visibly angry at the delay in payment of their dues after the election, besieged the INEC headquarters long before the resident electoral commissioner, Dr. Mrs. Queen Elizabeth Agu, arrived at her office for the day's work. In an interview, some of the ad hoc workers, Dr. Chidebel Obi and Lady Teresa Mbatogo, said most of them have not been paid for the election duty they carried out since March 2023. They wondered why no single person among them have not been able to authenticate INEC claim that they have been paid, asking INEC, which claimed that it has paid all the ad hoc workers. Who then have they paid?
To have paid, forgotten the quotation that you gave, 50,000 or thereabouts. But the question is, who can raise his or her hand to authenticate that claim that you have paid? Of all of us here, even those who are in the university who couldn't make it down here, nobody, no single person has been able to authenticate this claim that he or she has been paid. So who did you pay? So we left everything we were doing in the university to come down here to register our grievance that we have not been paid, and here we are again. You are telling us that we have been paid. So paid to who? Who did you pay?
Most of us has not been paid since that February up till now, and at the end we later submitted our statement of account as we were asked to do that around that February ending and beginning of March, which we did to the various local governments we are through the INEC officials.
Contributing, Dr. Ikechukwu Ekemezie, another ad hoc staff, explained that election duty is a national call, which they answered, risked their lives to work during the election, and now they came to register their grievances over the failure of INEC to pay them, and called on relevant authorities to reach out to the electoral umpire to pay them for the duty they carried out. Speaking with the ABS, the REC, Anambra State INEC, Dr. Mrs. Agu reiterated that INEC has paid over 50,000 ad hoc staff who they employed for the election, and stressed that some of the ad hoc staff accounts were bouncing back because there were irregularities in the account details and phone numbers they supplied to the INEC. Dr. Agu, who revealed that INEC is carrying out mop-up exercise, admonished the aggrieved workers to visit their banks to verify the payment, and if otherwise, they should get their statement of account from their banks and visit INEC for clarifications.
You saw that the people who are here today, we have not been paid. They are not up to 30. And that is being the case. It's just a fallout. Because we have paid. You saw our list. 400 and something, 500 and something, local government is 600 and 700 and we have been paying. We've completed payment last week. What we do now is what we call an INEC family mop-up.
Queen Anibogo, ABS News.
Anambra State government has permanently sealed 3 hospitals in Alo, Idemili South local government area for quackery and employing unlicensed staff. The Health Facility Monitoring and Accreditation team of the Ministry of Health sealed the facilities. Chibuzo Obidike tells us more.
The facilities Favor of God Hospital and Maternity, Brightland Hospital and Maternity, and Gardodian Hospital and Maternity were operating either without license, forged license, unqualified staff, unhygienic environment. Addressing journalists, the head Medical Services Department, Anambra State Ministry of Health, Dr. Chukwulubelu Ugochukwu, said the hospitals were sanctioned for employing people not certified to medicine and revealed that the closure does not affect the inpatients already admitted, but advised them to visit Government General Hospital for proper medical care instead of risking their lives. Dr. Ugochukwu, while wondering why people jeopardize human lives because of monetary gains, said there will be continuous regulatory oversights of hospitals in the state and pointed out that they discovered some uncertified health workers who treat patients, perform medical procedures, and leave the country when complication arises. He called on community stakeholders, religious bodies, and individuals to show interest in all areas of activities in their localities, especially health, and report to the ministry any suspected facility or shops involved in quackery as a way of saving millions of lives and contributing to the health sector of the state.
We are ready to stamp quackery in this state. We are not going back. The Mr. Commissioner, is serious about it. Our governor, the solution governor, is very bitter about people doing this kind of a thing in the state. We can't allow people to be dying for no just cause.
From Alo, in Idemli South Local Government Area, Chibuzo Bidiki, ABS News.
Anambra State Commissioner for Transport, Mrs. Patricia Igwebike, has stated the readiness of her ministry to ensure that a revenue court is established in the state to help fast-track the prosecution of revenue offenders. Mrs. Igwebike, who made this known in Awka, said that the establishment of the court will help in the fight against illegal revenue collection in the state. Correspondent Amaka Chibuzo Okoye filed on this report.
She asked community leaders and stakeholders to support the government in nabbing revenue offenders, including impersonators of government revenue enforcement teams, asking members of the public to disregard any enforcement team that asks them to make payment by cash. The Transport Commissioner also expressed worry over indiscriminate parkings along the roads, calling on Anambra to assist government in the agenda of the present administration to sanitize the state.
We have town halls, we have e-ways, we have and all those kinds of people. The reason why we're saying this is that people will understand that when you are arrested, you won't come calling on Mr. Governor or people that you think that are stakeholders in society to help you out. Because if you're arrested, you're going to be prosecuted to the fullest extent.
On his part, the special advisor to Governor Chukwuma Soludo on security, Air Vice Marshal Ben Chiobi, noted they have a lot to do in achieving the agenda of the Professor Chukwuma Soludo administration, which security is a top priority, pointing out that ANJET has numbers placed on their jackets and asked members of the public to report any officer found culpable in official misconduct or embezzlement.
So most of the things you find us doing are things that ought to have been done. I'll give you an example. Someone has 20 properties in Onitsha and is not paying a family. And when there's an effort to get him to pay, they quickly run to the press and tell you how they have sent security people to harass them and all that. But simply, there's a process which often we find ARS follow. They send out demand notices. But our people don't obey such things. Giving an impression that sometimes it looks like they need to be bullied for them to get to do the proper thing.
The President Muhammadu Buhari has asked the Senate to approve a request to pay the judgment debt in the sum of $556.8 million, £98.5 million and 226 billion naira. The monies were reportedly owed by the federal government through the issuance of promissory notes. Buhari's letter of request was read at plenary by Senate President Ahmed Lawan on Wednesday. In January, it was reported that there were 648 cases brought against the president and other federal government parastatals. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malami, SAN, revealed that Buhari's regime had secured a conviction in 397 terrorism cases, while 7,000 crime and anti-corruption cases had been successfully prosecuted by the government in 8 years. According to the AGF, the secured conviction was out over 3,000 terrorism profile cases, of which 1,500 were filed. Report says a deadly fire at a school dormitory in Guyana appears to have been started by a people who was angry her mobile phone had been confiscated. 19 people, mostly female students, were killed in the blaze in the South America country in the early hours of Monday. The dam was reportedly locked and had covered windows, which trapped the victims. The teenager suspect is currently in hospital with burns and has reportedly admitted to the arson. Authorities are now taking advice on whether to charge her, according to a government source who spoke to news agency. The girl is accused of threatening her attack after being disciplined for having a relationship with an older man. Over now to sports. Ethiopia's Yasin Haji will be seeking to make history as the first man to successfully defend an Okmekpe International 10-kilometer road race title after the 27-year-old arrived in Lagos for Saturday's race in Okmekpe, Edo State. Jaji became the third Ethiopian man to win the Okmekpe race, the 10-kilometer title, after he ran 29:05 hours, the third fastest winning time in race history to claim the title in 2022. Tashome Mekonnen, who ran 28.35 in 2014 to set the race record, was the first Ethiopian to win the men's race, and Lule Webresalie, 29:28 minutes, the second to win in 3 years later. Hachi, who raced to a 2,700 lifetime best last year in Lille, have returned to form at the right time. The Ethiopian clocked 27:20 at the end of the last month at the Adizero Road to records at the Desla Stripe, won in Hesronach, Germany, to send a message to his countryman Mekonnen that he was returning to Okmekpe to break the course record and make history. The stage will not be for Haji alone, as Kenyan Daniel Simiu Ebenyo will not only be seeking to return Kenya to the podium as Okmekpe race champion, but also challenge Mekonnen's 28:35 course record. Remember that you can follow news and program on ABS from any parts of the world by liking our Facebook page at Anambra Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television Oka. Follow us on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. Now the main points again. Chief Obi Okoye has emerged the new Anambra State Chairman of ABGA. Wife of Anambra Governor Mrs. Soludo has highlighted the role strategic education can play in promoting healthy living in women. President Buhari is seeking Senate approval to pay judgment debts. And a people has set school on fire over confiscated phone. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of co-equal values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that's it on the news at 7. Many thanks for joining us. My name is Chidima Oramwa. Good morning.